Hello, duelists, and welcome to the King's Court. Now, this is the eighth installment in my Locals Report series. For the record, thank you so much for all the views on last week's Madolce deck profile. Not deck profile, but I am coming up with a deck profile soon, just tweaking it a bit. But on my Madolce's Locals Report video, as well as Michael's very first one, the views are great, and we're already at 41 subscribers. I want to set a goal for the end of the month. We've only been doing this for a couple months, so this is going to be the first, I guess you could say, sub goal we want to get to. I want us to hit at least 50 subscribers by the end of January. The views are doing pretty good. I think we could do it. So if you haven't already subscribed, please subscribe and like and comment. We appreciate it. Every like and every subscription we get, and we reply to every comment we get. So plugging out of the way. I took my hero deck with me, actually, to my most recent locals that I competed in. It was 8-man, 3 rounds, and I actually managed to get second. Crazy enough. All 3 rounds were insane, but crazy enough, I actually managed to win against Tier Element. Kind of. I did beat it, but I also lost to it. I'll explain in a sec. So, I decided to take heroes with me this week because, one, I've been wanting to try out a certain card in the deck for a long time. Like, if you're from those of you who are fellow hero players have probably seen, like, on YouTube lately, like, if you look at the GOATs, Rogue Hero, D-Time, all those really good hero players, a lot of them have been talking, and, and as well as, like, online in general, have been talking about this new card that hero players have been taking in, and I've been wanting to test it out for a long time. And if you see the thumbnail and title of the video, you should know which one I'm talking about. I finally got to try out, because I didn't have it. I thought I did. Apparently I didn't. I finally got to try out E-Hero Blazeman. Now, this card was nuts. This card actually won me a game. No cap, this card actually got me the win, and I'll explain why in a sec. So, before we get to the meat and potatoes of the video, aka all rounds, like I said, really quick, go ahead and like, comment, and subscribe if you haven't already. And in the comments, the question, let me know your experience with Blazeman. Have you tried him out yet, and do you like him? I'm honestly, after this playtesting, I love it. I think it's great. I think it's going to stay in my residence in my deck for probably the rest of this format, because as long as the Shizu's Hero Element is going the way it is, this card actually has its place for reasons I'll get to. So, I had 3 rounds. My first round, I played against Branded Eldritch. Good stuff. that deck is some, like, a real mismatch. Like, if you were to take all the good stuff, it's like Powerpuff Girls, sugar, spice, everything nice. That's what this deck is. This deck is a mixture of Destiny Heroes with DPE, branded cards, Eldritch cards, anything you can think of. This deck is a literal casserole of that. So I played against that, and I managed to get the win. My second round, I actually played against a deck I never heard of. Well, I played against it, kind of. I played against Runic Magical Musketeers. Now, I played against Runics before, and I played against Magical Musketeer before. And if you're not prepared for either of those, they are both really nasty decks to deal with. And my very last match was the big, bad Shizu Tier Element. Yes. So, I won both my first rounds, and this last one I lost, kind of. And like I said, I'll get to that in a sec. So, let me quickly explain the first one. The first round, I played against, like I said, Branded Eldritch. So, the guy was really cool, super nice. I've seen him around before, but I never actually played him until now. So, he even complimented me on my new Field Center I've been using. This Harley Quinn card. And so that was super cool. He basically managed to open up his field. And here's the crazy thing. I managed to get the win because I basically opened up. Usually it's pretty good when you open up your Ferris, your Vision Hero Ferris, but unfortunately for me, this time I opened up double Ferris. So that kind of stuck. So that kind of just sucked, honestly. So I had to discard one Ferris to activate the other Ferris because the other cards in my hands were too valuable to lose. Like it was like mass change and stuff like that, so I couldn't lose them yet. So what happened was he went first, so he managed to set up his field of two back rows. One of them was Scarlet Sanguine. Managed to get an Eldritch on field and a DPE. Like I said, Brandon Despias is a mishmash of different stuff. So he had those, and then he used Scarlet Sanguine to basically get a third Eldritch. So he basically managed to set up his stuff and basically prevent me from going off because when I tried going for Ferris, he actually managed to stop increase. Like he negated it from, so I couldn't do anything. He negated it by playing Imperm, I think. But he stopped. Yeah, he had a set Imperm, so that sucked. But the guy said before he's played heroes before, like against it, and he's even used it on Master Duel before. So the guy knows what to do. That's unfortunately this is how it goes sometimes. Man, I miss. Anyone else miss Red Reboot? I really miss Red Reboot, honestly. Anyone else misses Red Reboot? Let me get a Red Reboot in the comments. So yeah, he stopped increase, so I didn't get to get Vion, so I didn't really get to do much. I had to end it right there. But so on end phase, he used DPE's effect to blow up Varus. So I had no response because I didn't draw any card to normal summon. So yeah, that was it. So basically, what I did for no, that's how it happened. He Ferris, yes, but I had Rhoda in hand. So I used Rhoda. This is what I meant by the double Ferris sucked because I had to lose one. I used Rhoda to actually search Blazeman. So, in case any of you are new to Blazeman or never used it before, you only use it for his first effect. When he's normal or special summoned, you can add a polymerization from your deck to your hand. Yeah, go ahead, pause it right there. So, that's what I managed to do. Let me see. But this is after. This is the second one. Because what happened was, like I said, he DPE'd and popped Ferris, so I was wide open. And his DP came back. Luckily, he didn't have any other cards to play. So he just swung for 75. Couldn't get me for that last 500. So that was actually something me and him were laughing about. Because I was jokingly saying, "You're not going to cowboy me, are you?" And we both started busting. It was hilarious. Like I said, really cool dude. So I was really close to losing. So this is what I meant by the turn. This is what I did. I drew. I had Rhoda in hand, but I didn't want to use it because I was worried about like Ash or something. But because he didn't have anything, he was pretty much strapped for cards because he drew mostly back row. I managed to use it, and I managed to search out Blazeman. Now this is what I did. I used Blazeman's effect to get Polly. And this is where things got nuts. Because where is it? Let's see. Here it is. So yeah, normal Blazeman, and from my hand, it's crazy. I actually had infused Shadow Mist and Liquid Soldier. So basically, what I did with those two cards, I managed to go into. Oh my god, this card was like the MVP of like I think that entire tournament because I went to them every game. Sunrise, and next to Sunrise, I managed to get Miracle Fusion. And remember, always remember, for anyone like new to the deck or still getting used to it, remember to always call chain one Shadow Mist. I mean your Liquid Soldier when you use it for a fusion summon, and chain two your Sunrise. Because chain two always goes because the last chain, the highest number chain always goes first. You want to search your Miracle Fusion first before you draw off of Liquid Soldier's ability. That way you maximize the cards you add to your hand. That way there's not a chance you could accidentally draw into Miracle Fusion. That way you completely thin out your deck by 3. So I managed to do that, add Miracle, and get the 2 draws off of Liquid. And here's where things got nuts. One of the cards I drew off him was Mass Change. And the second card I drew Honest Neos. So, you can all probably figure out where this is going. What I did was I then used Miracle Fusion, and I banished Shadow Mist and Liquid Soldier. Yeah, I banished them, and I managed to go into the old school favorite, Ab-Zero. This is where things go crazy. The second card I drew off of my Liquid Soldier's ability, these were the 2 cards I drew. I drew Honest Neos and a Mass Chain. Honest Neos, because I had Mass Change in my hand already. And I drew Fusion Destiny. So I did not manage to send them. I did not use them all at all. So basically, what I did was I Mass Changed first, used it to get out Acid. I actually managed to get off the Acid combo. So I called his effects and managed to blow up his field. I managed to blow up his monsters, and Acid got rid of his back row. Like, I guess whatever he had were like spells or something because they didn't respond. So I managed to set his field up, and then Fusion Destiny went into my DPE, and remember, even though Sunrise already boosts them all because they all have different attributes, I still had Honest Neos in hand, so I had game right there. I literally made an anime moment happen. I literally came back from the brink of losing, all thanks to Blaze Man, because he let me add Poly in my hand. So this card is a beast. I love this card. I really wish I tested it sooner. So that was how I won the first game. Second game, oh man, he messed me up pretty badly. He managed to set up his Mirror Jade, the branded card, and I just couldn't do anything because, oh man, he tricked me. He actually bamboozled me. Now, normally what we all do when we assume that our opponent's going to want to go, I basically messed up. So because I won, obviously he wanted to go first, right? Oh man, I messed up. I thought ahead way too hard. I was thinking the next game, honestly, too hard. I accidentally decided to go first. I messed up badly. So basically what I did, he managed to get his stuff up before I could do anything. He had his Sanguines and all of them, his Eldritch and Mirror Jade. And I didn't have going turn 2 cards. I had like Stratos and like some cards, but I messed up and I sided in the cards I usually put in when I'm going first, but I should have went with the cards I used to decide going second. So, but D Barrier actually did save me for a little while. It did shut off his monster's effects. So, and D Barrier actually did win me a game later on. So I'll get to that soon. So that was actually pretty cool. So he managed to get the win though. But that's just my. But he did play good though. I'm not one of those steps. A win's a win, a loss is a loss. He won, so I lost. Can't win them all. So right now we're 1-1, and honestly, this is where things get really crazy. Basically, long story short, we were going back and forth. I managed to blow up his stuff. He blew up my stuff. What saved me at the end, he misread my cards. He needed 2,000 more damage because since I was already sighted for it, I decided to go first. So I managed to actually open up Solemn and all that stuff, and I stopped a lot of his summoning. And here's the crazy part. I actually sighted in Lightning Vortex. I mean, not Lightning Vortex. Lightning Storm. Just in case he managed to get rid of my stuff and I needed something to get rid of his. So, I actually sighted in my Lightning Storm. This is actually my first time because I managed to... I'll go over when I do the deck profile. But I managed to finally finish up my side deck the way I wanted. So, I finally managed to get Lightning Storm. It was my first time using it too. So... he managed to blow up my field. So I used this, and I managed to get rid of his back row. We couldn't get any monsters though. So I Stratos, searched, and all that stuff. But basically what ended it, he tried to, because I managed to set up Dark Law. And we were both down to 2,000 each. Long story. So... he tried to go into the Dark Charmer, and he forgot though, mass heroes and heroes in general can only be summoned by fusion summon. He couldn't special summon it back, so he basically lost right there. He admitted defeat right there because he had nothing else to play. So I managed to get it, and it was honestly a crazy game. Super fun too. I'd love to play him again. So that was the first round. The second round, I played against something I never heard of. Runic mixed with Magical Musketeers. Now, I've played this person before. They were using Magical Musketeers. Apparently, that's their favorite deck of all time. And respects to that, honestly. Me and him were having a huge discussion of why we like the decks we like. Because obviously, whenever somebody tells me their story of their favorite deck, I gotta tell them why I love Heroes so much. I'll go over that someday, on a video one day, why I love Heroes so much. But I'll say that for a special day. Basically though, I managed, oh man, I did the combo. I managed game one, turn one. I set up Plasma, DPE, Dark Law, and Plasma. I drew a super good hand. Basically, I was able to go off. So yeah, I was able to go off and actually set up the crazy board, and he dropped right there. He couldn't do anything. So that was the first game. Game two was a little tougher because we both sighted. And I'm still figuring out sighting, what do I want to take out? Because I feel unlike other decks, you don't with heroes, there's such specific cards you gotta play for specific matchups and specific times you don't even know when they're gonna come up. So siding with this deck can be a little hard. So I basically just put in everything I knew was good going turn two. I'll go over the whole side deck later. Basically, he opened up with... I went turn two. He opened up with that Magical Musketeer, this normal monster. I mean, not normal monster. A normal summon card. And had 2 back row. And he went into this fusion monster, which I caveman did. By that I mean, whenever I see a monster come from the extra deck, I know it's good. So I just imperm from my hand right away. But apparently that worked out for me. So turn two, Lightning Storm, I called monsters. But the two cards he actually set were quick play cards. One managed to save his monster, his Magical Musketeer, but his fusion was gone. So after that, I was actually able to build up a field with DPE. I didn't have plasma. Yeah. I just did the standard hero combos and managed to get in. Sorry about that. I managed to open up to get into DPE, Sunrise, and Ab Zero. It was pretty much game right there. We both agreed though that I'm not gonna lie, the Lightning Storm was what really saved me because I didn't have anything else going in opening to clear his field. So good for me, but like I said, sucks for him. But really good player though. I like that guy. He was cool. Okay, the crazy one. Match 3. I played against the Shizu tier element. Now, if you saw channel member Michael's locals report, which if you haven't seen it, go ahead and go check it out for the full details. Last time he played a person from out of town, not from our area, who comes here. I guess has been coming here more regularly on the weekends for the tournaments. But yeah, he didn't have the best time against him. The guy was. Here's the thing: we don't have an issue with people who want to play meta decks. We don't even have a problem with people who want to play tier 0 decks. But our problem is when people are just rude about it. Look, because okay, bit of a small tangent. Yes, we know we've been playing this game for a very long time. I've been playing since. Oh my god, I've been playing competitively since I was a sophomore in high school. I want to say, but I've been Yu-Gi-Oh's been part of my life since man way back. I think before I was even in number grades. But no, I was about roughly like first grade, I think. Yeah, that sounds about right. So I know Yu-Gi-Oh's reputation with players, and not all of us are not all of us can be the nicest, but me and channel member Michael try our best to not be that way. We should, because at the end of the day, this is a game for us. This is a hobby. It's for fun. So we don't really understand like the idea of being rude or anything to anyone. Even if you want to win, we don't really. It doesn't make sense to us to act like that. So the guy was honestly very rude, like very honestly pretty cocky too. The fact he was playing a tier 0 deck, like have you ever seen people like that? So he was basically kind of full of himself because you see he was playing tier 0, all that good stuff, and I was playing rogue heroes, rogue deck. So basically we rolled the dice. He got the dice roll win. I'm gonna be honest. That's it. He won right there. He did your standard Ishizu, blah blah blah. What can you do? Yeah. So yeah, what can you do? Honestly. So he won the dice roll, so he got game 1. Now game 2. This is where things got crazy. I risked it for the biscuit. No guts, no glory. I opened up a Hero Libs, and I went into Shadow Mist. Now, this is the combo where I'm pretty sure all Hero players know where this is going. I Hero Libs, got Shadow Mist, and got Mass Change. Basically, he didn't have any cards to stop me, because by this point, he already milled like most of our deck. Craziest part is he didn't actually touch none of my cards. He milled like 20 cards at least. None of them were malicious or deniers. So that was good for me. So basically I got Shadow Mist, and I managed to go into end on a field of obviously you know where this is going, Hero players. I Dark Lord, as well as Ab Zeroed and Sunrise. I passed, and I had an Ash in hand also. Ash and Stratos left in my hand. So, I ended there. He couldn't do anything. He couldn't do anything. Period. Absolutely nothing at all. He did activate some spell card that something for milling for the deck, but he couldn't even do that because thanks to Dark Law, bye Felicia, he lost all his cards. He lost them all. Nothing. He couldn't do anything. Dark Law absolutely wrecked Ashizu Tyrion. It wrecked him badly. And I could tell he was getting mad that he couldn't do anything against a rogue deck, and he's playing the best deck in the format right now. So I'm being a little snarky only because, like I said, the guy was very rude at first. So yeah, he couldn't do anything. So turn two, I went to Stratos, blew up all his back row, and basically what I did, I I had malicious left, linked off, managed to do a bunch of searching. Basically, I went to Commander. Searched a card, but it didn't really matter what card I searched. I think I searched Honest Neos. And because I had Denier left, managed to link off Denier. I summoned Denier. Linked it off with my Cross Crusader. And I ended up on the field of these three amazing fusions and Dread Decimator. He set a monster in defense because that's all he could do. Because remember, all the Shizu cards start milling as soon as they're normal summoned. Attacked it, piercing, game right there. Couldn't do anything. Yep, managed to Dark Law the guy and destroyed him right there. So that was crazy. Now game 3, this is where things get interesting. Now obviously the guy decided he wanted to go first. Obviously. He did his shenanigan combos, all that. Ended up on a field of a couple of tier elements, not that strong. Like, pretty low. I don't know all their names, sorry. As well as El Shaddai Winda, we all know that card, and Abyss Dweller. Unfortunately, he dwellered me. What can you do? So, he already, like I said, at that point, also had milled 20 cards out of my deck, so I was really bare bones at the time. So, what I did was, I somehow managed to luck out and get Fusion Destiny to go off. I did the standard send Malicious and Denier. Went DPE. Now, this is actually where things get interesting. Because he actually, let's see. Where is, oh, there it is. Because he got milled my deck and made me lose so many monsters, I had like 20 heroes in the graveyard already. Well, not 20, but like a lot. So basically, his Winda had no attack whatsoever. So, what I did that, and then I normal summoned Stratos. Because I had DPE, I could actually blow up his back row, so I attempted to. He just used it up, and it was some card that negated Stratos. Although Stratos is still safe. So, I had DPE actually attack over his Winda, because Winda is like 23, I had like 12 or something crazy number of heroes in the grave. And this is why DPE is always and forever will always be better in a hero deck, is because his monsters all lose 200 attack for every hero in the graveyard, even if they have the same name. So his monster went all the way down to 0, attacked over, it smacked him with 25 damage, and then I had Stratos attack over his Abyss Dweller, so that was gone. But unfortunately, this is where it sucks. If he didn't Dweller me, I guarantee you I could have won. Because I had Malicious and Denier all ready to go. But he did, though, so I had to pass. So I haven't taken any damage. And he actually used up most of his best cards already to get to the field he had. So he decided to summon one of the Ishizu cards. I think the Great Defender, I think it's called. I don't know. I played him with Dolce, I know that. Keldo. Yeah, Keldo. He managed to get that out, and he had a bunch of like weenie tier elements. Basically, I tried to chain to. He basically milled out. I used DPE to try to blow up his monsters. Unfortunately, though, he used something that like shuffled DPE back into my deck. Like he used this one card that negated DPE, and then another one to then he chained another one to like shuffle him back to the extra deck. So all I had was Stratos left. Now, this is where it gets crazy. He tried to use his Keldo to attack. No, no. He managed to link up into the Dark Charmer, but he didn't really. So he managed to do that. Here's the crazy thing. He brought back one of his tier elements with that. So he tried to have his Dark Charmer attack over Stratos because it was 1850. He didn't even want the card. He just needed something that could attack over Stratos because he's pretty beefy for a level 4. I had Honest Neos in hand. I dropped Honest Neos, made him 43. He took another 25 straight to the face. Now here's the thing, he didn't know this. This effect is for the whole turn. The whole turn. Stratos was now 4,300 beat stick. So I had a chance. I just had to hit him for 3,000 more at my next turn, and his monsters were all weenies. Nothing. He had nothing in his hand. And here's the thing: I had Vion in my hand. Even if I had no cards, what I could have done. I was all ready to go off and win, but this is where it happens. I lost my deck out. I lost my game mechanic. He managed to mill my entire deck. So he just basically ended after he noticed I lost all my cards. And I lost immediately because I couldn't draw for my turn, so that means I lost. It sucks. This is what I mean by I lost, but not exact. I didn't lose to him specifically. I lost by deck mechanic. I mean by game mechanic. Here's what I mean I could have done. I could have gone Vion. Link off was him and Stratos. And I could have gone Wonder Driver. Now, Destiny Hero Denier was in the grave. That means I could have used my Denier and shuffle back Malicious that was in the grave as well. Because you could shuffle Banish or in the grave to get Denier onto the field. And I could have linked them off. And I could have sent to the arrow it points to. Could have got Polly back, and I could have gone off. I could have fused them both to go into Sunriser, or I could have gone Commander and get. I could have done so much. I could have won, but unfortunately, this wasn't meant to be this time. So yeah, I lost by deck out. So yeah, that's how I got second. So close, so close. But what can you do? It happens. Unfortunately, that deck just has way too many resources. So, yeah, that was the most recent. Oh, here it is. Yep. That was the most recent locals I competed. So close to getting the top prize, but oh well. Next time. I'll be ready. So yeah, I could have had it to point to the arrow. Could have got Polly back from the grave. Could have set it. Yeah, and I could have fused them together and go him. There's a lot of stuff I could have done. But what can you do? So basically, that's what happened. I'll definitely be ready for my next one, but honestly, I still had a lot of fun. The guy, like I said, was kind of rude, and no one likes playing against she's Tyrell, and that deck really needs to get hit, honestly. But I had a lot of fun still. I learned a lot, and I know that my deck can compete against the Shizu 2 element, so that makes me more excited for the next one. So that's the locals report, and Honestly, if you want to see more, go ahead and check out Michael's most recent one that he did. He played his Earth Machine deck, and he also just did deck profile. I'll come out with the deck profile here. Like, I'll come out with the deck list soon, later this week. So if you want to see that, go ahead and like, comment, subscribe. And thanks for stopping by. We really appreciate it, and let's try to hit 50 subscribers by the end of January. Thanks again for stopping by. Bye.